Kick off an amazing year, 2019 Gold Pass. That's not a bad idea. Oh, look at there. New in 2019 Copperhead Strike. I wonder what's going on with Copperhead Strike. Let's go back and take a look. Hey everybody, Crazy Pop here. Today, as you can see, we're back at Carowinds again. But if you noticed, hey, it's still winter time. So what does that mean? We're on a construction tour of Blue Ridge Junction, Mountain Gliders, and Copperhead Strike. Let's get on back there and take a look.
Okay. Hello. We're going to huddle up right over here. Alright, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Steve Jackson. I'm the Director of Construction and Maintenance here at Carowinds. Right now you're in the newly branded Blue Ridge Junction area of the park. As you can see right here, we used to have two games buildings right here. This area is all tore up now, doing demo. And what's going to happen here is all this turns back into pavement. It's going to be asphalt and it'll all be pavement. So something that we've been working on every time we try to touch a new area. We try to do something a little bit different with the hard surfaces to make them a little bit easier, less hot. The asphalt's really hot, the pavers are a lot cooler. So it's all about the creature comforts and the way it looks for our guests. Behind me, you can see we're doing a renovation over here on the old Wings building. This is going to be Blue Ridge Country Kitchen. We're adding a new seating area, indoor dining area. We're changing the queue line inside the serving windows, so it's actually going to be a double serving line, so you can eat on either side now. So we're increasing the dining space over here in the Blue Ridge Junction area. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people moving around, so keep your eye on the equipment, the trucks, and whatnot. Turn. Okay, is that a little bit better? Okay. I'll try to talk a little bit louder too. Is that better? All right. If you turn around, let me explain to you what you're seeing over here. Actually, why don't I just move over here? How about that? Is that better? Okay. The angle's not exactly right, but over here, the first building you see is the barn. We call that the launch barn, and this is really the first interaction you're going to have with the ride outside the station. The station is behind it. It's a taller roof back there. We'll take a look at that as we walk around back up the water park. What happens is, you come out of the station, you go through the JoJo roll, which basically turns you upside down, 360 degrees. You roll into the launch barn, and the train parks right there. There's a little bit of a show that goes on in there, and then the ride actually launches out of that barn, 0 to 52 miles an hour, and then you hit the first loop, and then you're on your way. So this is the first element that you're going to see. What I really like here is we took down these two buildings right here. We opened up this vista. We're putting planters back here with trees and different landscaping elements to open up this whole area in the view of Copperhead Strike. So this will have a much more open feel to it than it has in the past. We're really changing the landscape out here in this area. So we're rebranding this area. This used to be the RC area, and that's going to be called, now it's going to be the Blue Ridge Junction area. So it should have a nice mountain theme to it. Nice mountain open feel to it, landscaping, pavers, and the great view of the ride. Any questions here before we go around to the other side of the park? Okay, well let's move. shot of the very top of the launch building over here. If you look right between the fork of these trees right here, the big building right there, it's still got the wood truss showing. That all gets covered with siding, but that's actually the launch. I'm sorry, that is the station right there. So that's where you'll load and unload from the train. And then the train comes right towards here, goes through the JoJo roll, and stops for the first show element in the launch barn. This is probably a good shot right here also. Just trying to give you, as much as we can, give you a shot of the station right up here. And the building back here with all the metal studs on it, that's actually the storage building. That's where we will actually park the trains at night. We'll do checkouts in there, and that's where the train storage is.
So they're loading at the top of that building?
That's right. Yeah, that's where you'll load and unload. You'll actually come upstairs on this side.
Yeah.
And you'll load the train. And then when you come back in, you'll actually exit on the other side, on the launch barn side, and exit down through there.
Right.
And there's a ride photo location. Once you go down to the bottom of the steps, that you can actually purchase a photo of your adventures.
Very cool.
We'll build the ride photo, the location. Why do you have to figure that out yet?
I know where it's going to be, but I don't have the pole set yet, so it's going to be hard to show you. If I remember right, it's right after the first loop somewhere. There's two locations. I can't remember which one we're doing. There's one right out there, and there's also one right over here. No, this is towards the end of the ride over here. Right before you go through the compound right here. I think it might be right there. Yeah. It depends on what we do. Is we'll set it up at both locations, and then the photo company will tweak and tune and make that decision where they have the best shot at, for the best experience.
The best reaction.
Yes, yeah, the best picture. So we usually set up 2 or 3 of those. This one we've set up 2 on. So once we actually start running the ride, then we'll come in with a snorkel lift, and we'll put the camera on it. We'll set it up. We'll take some photos, go decide, and then we'll set the pole and off we go. Cool. All right. We ready to move again? All right, let's go.
Good question. That's the things that people want to know.
As we go around the corner over here, we are moving trucks. That's one of them right there. The vibrations to get everything out of the back of the truck. So just be aware, if we have to stop and wait on a truck to get out of the way so we can walk through, we'll do that. We're not slowing down construction for the tour. If anybody wants a Christmas tree, you can pick it up on the way out and take it with you. Oh, you want to go back there? Okay, all right.
This isn't about height. Right, I mean, it's not about height.
It's not about height. This is all about the it's really set up to be gravity from that. This is linear synchronous motors, LSM launch. So it's all electrical. So it's basically, if you take a motor and unwind it and energize it, it fires you just like you're in a motor, except you roll it out straight. So instead of going around and around, you go straight like that. You go straight out, and that's what it launches. And it's got two launches on it. So the first one sets up in the launch barn, launches you out of there, 0 to 52. I think it's 3 seconds. It's the same acceleration as the Z1 Corvette. 2018 Z1 Corvette. It's the same acceleration. And then halfway through the ride, and I'll show you the other launch over here, this is where we're going to set up at. It takes you, you come into that launch and then it launches you again. It's a rolling launch, so you come into it with a little bit of speed and it launches you back out at 35 miles an hour. So it's like you come over the hill, you see the cops, you step on the gas again, and you finish the ride out. So it's actually a double launch.
The whole ride probably takes about 15 seconds.
No, it takes a little bit longer than that. Yes.
Wow.
It does. I think it's, do you remember the length on the ride?
It's on the fact sheet.
Okay.
But it's.
I don't want to quote that. I've got things in my head
half a mile of track.
It's over a half mile of track. Yes, it's over a half mile of track. I've got 4 different rides in my head right now as far as how long they are.
It's hard to keep
You know, like,
now, didn't they?
like Jerry 325 is 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Didn't you tell us before they make this overseas and ship it to y'all or something?
Yes. Yeah. It's all made over in Germany. Yeah. This is a Mach ride. It's made by Mach, M-A-C-K. They've been in the business for over 235 years making rides. We've got a couple other rides made by them. This is our second coaster by Mach. The Wild Mouse. Ricochet is also a Mach coaster.
Wow.
So it looks like all the track is up.
All the track is up, yes. Storage track, all the track, transfer track, all the tracks in place. Right now we're torquing and grouting. And what that is, once you put the track up, you have to let it sit, and then you go back and you torque all the anchor bolts and all the connection bolts, and then you grout. And you have a metal base plate, and you have a concrete base between it. And what you do is you fill that space in with non-shrinkable grout, and that's what locks everything in place. So the base doesn't move, the track doesn't move, everything is where it's supposed to be. Because once you get something like this up, you have to tweak and tune it so all your joints so all the joints fit right. Because if you pull on a joint too much, you put too much pressure on the bolts themselves and the track, and it's always in stress, and that's always a potential failure spot. So what you do is you tweak and tune this so all your joints match up, and you do that by adjusting those base plates. Because when you're 82 feet in the air, a little movement down here is a lot up there, so you can move things a half a turn here, and all of a sudden you close up 3/4 of an inch at the top. So you want to make sure you get all that right before you grout.
At what point we put the cars on the track and test them? So
the cars are actually, the first train is in the port right now in Charleston. It's scheduled to be delivered sometime this month. Towards the end of the month, the first train should be here. Once that train shows up, we'll actually put it in the storage track in the storage barn over there. Move it to the transfer track. We'll actually do what they call a pull-through test. And what that is we'll take the lead car and we'll pull it through with a set of ropes and blocks and tackles and whatever else we need. And what it is it's an alignment test. So we'll pull that first car all the way through the track and check every single joint, all the stators, which is, you'll see them out here. It looks like a white piece of fiberglass. It's about yay tall, about 4 feet long. That's actually the electrical system that launches the train. It's the stator of the motor. And there's a fin on the train. You have to make sure that all that stuff is aligned properly. So we'll do a pull-through test through all those systems and make sure that everything is in the right place. Then we'll put the rest of the train on. We'll finish the commissioning on the electrical system, make sure that all the sensors work, that the control system is responding the way it's supposed to, all the stators fire before we even try to launch the first train. Okay? The first train will most likely be, we'll do a half power launch. So we'll launch it. It won't go all the way through the station. It won't go all the way through the first loop. It'll roll back. So we can actually figure out exactly where we need to be. It's just part of the testing process. So. All right. So let's go ahead and move over here. We'll get a little bit closer to it, and you can see some of these parts I'm talking about.
Yes. Just walk in our footprints.
I would suggest you try to stay on the hard surfaces. You can see where the concrete is, or maybe a little mud or dirt on it, but try to stay on the hard surfaces. Okay, what the guys working behind me are electricians. They're actually working on the electrical system. They're putting cable tray up, and they're hooking up the LSMs. The LSMs, if you look along the backbone of the ride, you'll see that it's a white piece of fiberglass, it looks like up there. Inside that, there's coils of wire. They basically create a magnet, and that's what actually launches the train. This is actually launch 2. So the train will come in from this side over here, moving that direction, okay? So it'll come into this with a little bit of speed. We'll accelerate it through here up to about 35 miles an hour, and it'll finish the ride out. So this is actually launch 2.
And it goes from 35 to 50 miles per hour at this launch.
35 to 50. So it comes in 35 miles an hour and goes out at 50. Yes. The question was, are we running the LSMs at maximum capacity? We're running the LSMs at their highest efficiency point. So what we'll do is when we tune the ride, that we'll actually control it so the ride will only go 50 miles an hour when it leaves with a full load in it. So an unloaded train might go a little bit faster, but it's really all about control. You can't overspeed the train going through here, because it's designed that the highest efficiency point is about as fast as you're going to be able to go anyway, because it uses a lot of power. It's an expensive system, so you want to be as efficient as you can with what you're trying to do.
How would it know exactly the way the train is? Is it going to the station or throughout the course?
The question is, how does the system know? Does it weigh the train every time? It does not weigh the train every time. When we set it up, we'll actually do testing with, we call them water dummies. It's a ballasted weight that you put in the car. Each ballasted weight will hold 170 pounds, which is the ASTM standard for the average weight of a person. And we'll set it up for that. And then what we'll do is we'll overfill them to about 200 pounds and see what it does. So we'll do some experimental testing with it, which is, you have to do that on every ride anyway, especially one of this sort, to get your control system tuned in, because you don't want a rollback. A rollback happens if you don't have enough power to get the ride where it's supposed to go, and it goes up and doesn't quite have enough energy to complete the ride, and it'll roll back. Okay. Let's talk about some of the safety features with the rollback. If a rollback happens right here, you'll see there's a platform over here, and there's a platform right here, and it's at the low spot. So if a rollback does happen, or let's say we have a power failure in the middle of the ride, this is where the train will stop, and this is where we can unload the people nice and safely. There'll be stairwells that come down off the platforms. We don't expect and we don't anticipate this to happen very often, but safety is one of the most important things we do. We have to anticipate what's going to happen, where the train's going to stop, and this is what it is.
Why don't you explain all the features that you're looking at with each of the coaster? This coaster with the 5 inversions, just kind of lay it out so everybody can see what they're looking at here.
Also slow it down.
The train will stop with gravity. You can use an LSM to back the train up, slow a train down. You sure can. Yep, you can do it. You can do all that. The different elements here. Okay, let me see if I can do this. The big loop over there. It's got 5 different inversions in it. Okay. I'm not sure that I can show you everything from right here, but we'll walk through it. Direction of travel. That's your first element. You go through the first loop over there. There's some twisting. It's really low to the ground. I'm not sure I can do this. But anyway, you go through the loop over here, you come over here, it loops back around, you come over this way, as you twist and turn, you're really close to the ground here, you go back over here, you go way down there towards the building. So you're eating up a lot of your speed here, you know, a lot of your energy. Then you come over that hump right there, you come into the second launch right here, you hit these LSM, it launches you, you come in about 35, it launches you again up to about 50 miles an hour. You come out of here, you hit this little hump right here going through this second loop. That little hump right there, I anticipate is going to be one of the funnest things that you're going to do on this ride. That one is going to catch you by surprise. I can't wait to ride this thing because you're going to come out of your seat, you're going to get some airtime here. You got the loop around you. All right, you go up through there, you go through the top hat, you come back around, you go through the loop. You go through another element backwards. Not backwards. You go through another element, you twist the other way. You go around and you come back into the station. Okay, that was kind of.
It's okay. You hit
that was very disjointed for me, but that's okay. Do we have the model over here?
It is. It's right over there.
Okay, we actually have a model of the ride over here. It was all done with a 3D printer by Mock. He was at the IAPA show. They sent it to us. There's nothing like actually seeing that model. You can actually take your finger and trace around exactly where things are going and how things twist and turn. There's something special about that model. If you figure it out, let me know. But don't share it with your friends. There's just a little bit of something on there. You coaster enthusiasts, I'm sure we'll figure out pretty quick.
About 2 seconds.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. All right. Anything else you want?
They'd like to do a one-on-one. You have questions, Mike?
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
But, maybe without the megaphone.
Yes,
Oh,
without the mic.
okay.
Is he mic'd up for you already?
Yeah.
Do you need to mic him?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Thanks.
Mr. Jackson right here.
Okay. 2 seconds.
Sure. Glasses on or off?
Take them off if you're not squinty. Yeah, that's good.
Is that good?
Yep.
I know, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I just started wearing progressive lenses, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. But I can see you okay.
So, how does this construction compare to maybe some of the other ones that you've completed on campus?
Okay, we've built a lot of roller coasters recently, so being able to compare this one to some other rides we've done recently is pretty easy. The thing about it, we got started early because you want to be out of the ground pretty quick around here, and then we ran into weather like we always run into. But the thing about this ride, it's got more foundations than Fury or Intimidator on it. This thing's got over 230 foundations on it, where Intimidator Fury had 180, 190. So it's got more foundations. The special thing about this ride is it's really low to the ground, which makes it a little bit easier to put up, but you don't have the big height. So I'm not used to having a coaster this close to the ground. So we've got more lockout areas, we've got more fencing that we have to deal with. It's a much tighter space. You know, if you look at Fury and Intimidator, they're really spread out. They wrap half the park. This is very compact. It twists and turns. It's integrated. You know, we've got track going through loops and stuff like that. So it's a very tight site. It takes a lot more coordination with utilities and all the underground, the foundations, the grouting. Everybody's on top of each other trying to work. Good example, the launch barn over here. The theming company is here, Weber Group, to load in all the props for the launch barn. Well, we've got a fireplace that we're building over there. We had to hold off the construction of the fireplace so they could get the lull in there to actually get the props into that launch barn the easy way, which saves us about a week of them having to load, so we can load everything in 2 days versus a week by just giving them 2 days. We just delayed the construction on the fireplace. So then it's a lot of scheduling that has to happen with any ride, but this one more so than some of the others.
Just from a personal standpoint, this is serious fun. How much fun is this?
This is well, serious fun. This is awesome. This is great. We haven't had a launch coaster here since White Lightning, and that was a gravity drop. This is our first electrical launch coaster, and it's not just a linear induction motor. It's a linear synchronous motor, which that's the high-tech version of the first launches. So the launch coasters came out 20 years ago uses the linear induction motor. This is the linear synchronous motor. So the control system on it is very precise. It knows where the train is all the time through this launch. From a technology standpoint, this is cutting edge stuff. From an experience standpoint, we don't have another coaster in the park that's this tight to the ground. So it's different, it's new, it's fun, it's really exciting. I'm really excited to ride it.
And finally, everything's on schedule?
Everything's on schedule. We're scheduled to open up in the spring of this year, 2019. Everything is on schedule right now to do that.
Explain the safety thing again.
The safety thing with the rollbacks?
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime that we put a coaster in, safety is our biggest concern. You know, what's going to happen? What if? You know. So if we do have a rollback, and if you talk to anybody with a launch coaster, rollback is a common vernacular word that you're going to hear about. So if the launch, if the train's too heavy or you have a power failure or something happens, you're going to have a rollback. So we've got platforms here, so the train sets, we unload you, you get to ride again. Now we will try to relaunch you instead of evacuating you from the train. We will try to relaunch. We've got control systems out here. We come out, we try to relaunch.
So when you're working to get this ready for riding, you anticipate anything that could go wrong, anything that might be unexpected.
That's right.
And you know what you're going to do in that situation.
We teach, we plan, we train.
That's right.
Yes. It's all about safety and the guest experience.
So did you grow up always wanting to build roller coasters?
I did not. Wow. I'm a Navy brat. So my dad was in the Navy. We moved back home to High Point. I went to school at UNCC. I needed a summer job. I came out to Carowinds. I've got a degree in electrical engineering. And I just kind of grew up here and I stayed. And you find you have a passion or a love for things. And I really like roller coasters. So, and being able to build them, and especially at this level, this is awesome.
You know, ride them with your daughter.
Yes, my daughter's 15 now, and she loves to ride, and I love to ride with her. I don't make her do anything she doesn't want to do, but man, it's exciting. It really is. You know, the thing about Carowinds are roller coasters. You know, we don't have as many roller coasters as Cedar Point, but we are the roller coaster capital of the Carolinas. You know, we've got more roller coasters than about any other park around here. If not, don't we have more? We've got more roller coasters than most parks on the East Coast.
Opening up with 14. Yep. 14
roller coasters. Find me another place around here that's got 14 roller coasters that can do that. And as many roller coasters we put in, we're putting a roller coaster in about every 5 years now, or less. So.
Well, and Blue Ridge Junction is about more than just the coaster.
It is.
This is fantastic. There's so much.
You know, we're going back to our roots with the Carolina heritage, with the Blue Ridge. We used to have an area in the park called Blue Ridge Junction. So we're trying to go back to our roots, go back to our heritage, pull in things from the local. You know, it's all about the Carolinas here.
And real quick, can you say and spell your first and last name for me?
Steve Jackson, SteveJackson.
And your official title?
I'm Director of Construction and Maintenance at Carowinds.
What kind of theming are you going to put around the coaster?
Well, it's got a Blue Ridge theme to it. Am I allowed to say exactly what we're doing here?
You can talk about all the props that are going to go in.
It's got a Blue Ridge theme to it. So, you know, this is Granny's Jam Factory. At least that's what it is on the outside. But what is she really doing here? So we've got a lot of country themed props going in, a lot of stuff you would see in the mountains. You may see some stuff associated with adult beverage production. You're going to see stuff associated with what you would see up in the mountains from the 20s, 30s, maybe even as back as 1880s. So when you go to an old farm up in the mountains, what do you see? You see tractors, you see old trucks, you see barrels. You see the landscaping is, sometimes it's overgrown, sometimes it's stuff you don't see anywhere else because Grandmama had these roses that were 100 years old that you just can't get anymore unless you cut them. So we've really tried to put some of those elements in here, stuff that you wouldn't see other places unless you went up to the mountains.
And you might just see a copperhead.
And you might just see a copperhead here. Now, there's two different meanings to copperheads also. You know, there's the snake and then there's also the whole still thing, right? So what do they call a copper still? What's one of the nicknames for it?
Copperhead.
It's a copperhead, right? So we're trying to play on different themes. We're trying to make it fun and interesting while you're in line, trying to give a cool backstory to it. It's not just it's about the ride, but it's about the experience in the area and trying to immerse you into that environment. You might even see something that looks like corn growing somewhere, or sugar cane, or pumpkins, or who knows?
Will we be exiting the ride through the gift shop, or the gift shop be located off-ride somewhere?
The gift shop will be off-ride. This is not an exit through retail location. You will have a photo opportunity as you exit the ride. You come down the steps and there'll be a photo opportunity straight in front of you that you can actually buy a picture of your experience on Copperhead Strike. And we're like I don't know if you heard me earlier, but we're actually going to maximize and find the best place to take that picture so we get the best reaction. So it'll be very memorable. That photo will be.
Okay.
All right.
Steve, just off-camera questions. How many people do you have working on this project?
Ooh.
Just a ballpark figure.
Ballpark. Well, we have different trades working different times. We're probably 240, 250.
250 workers.
Yep.
And I guess, is this the largest construction project in York County right now? Would you say?
Ooh. I would say not.
Oh, okay.
Acre-wide, I think there's some bigger stuff going on up around Riverwalk in that area.
It's probably among the largest in York County.
Yep. It's the fastest, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
We do construction fast around here. You got to have the right partners, the right people, the right plans. When we order a coaster like this, we have to order it 2 years in advance. Because it takes a while to build something like this. They have to get it all right, and they have to build it, and then have to ship it to us. So there's a lot of logistics that happen that most people never see.
Yeah.
You know.
It's all in the planning.
Yep. I mean, the track gets loaded on a boat over in Germany, sails across the Atlantic, shows up in Charleston, then gets on a truck and comes here and has to be unloaded and then assembled.
Wow.
So.
The foundations you're building, I mean, do you put a year limit on them, or is it, I guess, like, is it safe to say this will last for 50 years?
Nobody's ever asked me that question before. Typically, a concrete foundation on a ride will last way longer than the steel on the ride will.
So they're meant to last the life of the ride?
Yes, and then some, yes. Some places we've taken rides down in the past, we left the foundations, and then we go build some, we have to dig them back up again. You know, so here's the surprise for you. The foundation, it's all concrete and steel. It's no different than the foundation on a building downtown Charlotte. We actually drill a caisson down to bedrock. So it's a big round cylinder. It's got rebar in it. We fill it full of concrete. Comes up, and then the only part you see is the pier cap on top, which is anywhere from 4 to 6 feet tall. That sits with all the rebars to the side that's supported with the anchor bolts coming out of it. You don't see the stuff that's 20 and 30 feet in the ground that goes all the way down to bedrock. Or pre-weathered stone is what they call it.
Ben, do you have any more questions for Steve?
Good job, man.
Sure.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
getting good at this.
Thanks. Y'all give me enough practice. Yeah. Oh, here's a great example. I'll go point. You stay here, I'll go point, okay?
That's super deep.
This one's been ground. This is the steel plate right here.
Ready to go?
Steel plate.
Ready to go? We can have it go
No
out.
ground. So that's the difference. What you see under here,
Grout between no grout.
over there. If you look underneath that steel plate, you'll see something that goes down inside the pond.
Don't come and get you on camera.
That's a piece of an ivy. There's one to the bottom of it. What happens is when you put that grout in there, it locks that steel plate in place. It can't move either way. Forward, backward, side to side. The anchor bolts hold it down, but the grout pocket actually keeps it from moving side to side.
So that one's ready. You don't need to adjust that one.
This one it doesn't adjust anymore.
Yeah.
Once you grout it, you're done. If you have to adjust it, you have to bust all that grout out, which you can move, and it'll take you 2 to 3 days to bust all that grout out. So you've got to bust it all out, and you've got to get it down in that pocket right there, you'll be able to refill it. So it's specialized tools to do that.
Hold the train into the track.
Hold the train.
See how it does.
No, you have to go back and adjust something, you're gonna have to do something a little bit different. But it's really about aligning. It's really about aligning all the LSMs.
I see.
And you want to pull it through the track a little slower first. Just be a keen on him to come. You know, it's all inspected. We've got a representative on site. We actually got two from Knox. They do the inspection on it. You do the pull test. You don't really expect to find anything out of the ordinary. It's really just it's a check mark in the box. But you want to do it at low speed and controlled versus uncontrolled if you just launch it and go. Because if you've got these LSMs out of position, out of place, then you're going to tear something up. It's going to cost you a bunch of money. You're not going to open on time.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful.
Go very careful.
Yes.
Yeah, I just never knew about before they even went along.
Oh, there's so much going on before we open the ride. Let's walk back that way in case anybody wants to see the graphics. You can talk to them about the elements or anything.
Okay. All right.
And then I can take.
Okay. Yeah.
The model and the graphics are over here if anybody wants to take a look before we head out.
Ooh, sorry. You got it all set up nice and fancy looking.
That's all? Yeah. That's all?
The graphics really do a good job of kind of showing what the thing is supposed to look like. The 10 actually comes already pre-weathered. So what you see, it'll actually come looking like that. There's only a couple places in the U.S. that actually do that for you.
So the 10 already have the rusted look, you're saying?
It does.
To have it looked old, you gotta.
Yep. The thing is, you can get it looking old like that, but a lot of times it's already rusted. It's not going to last. So they've got some kind of they etch it and they seal it, so it should look like that for a long time without me having to go back and replace it. So it's a big deal.
And what are these yellow cards here?
These are actually these came on the parts on some of the ride. Every part, every different part has a tag on it.
Right.
You might get a box that's got one tag on it. All the parts in it are the same. So these are just examples of how they label the parts, where it comes from. This is the model that was actually at IAPA. IAPA is a big show they do for the amusement industry, where all the ride manufacturers show up, and food manufacturers. All things associated with the ride.
John, I got some questions for you.
Sure.
The hotel, how's it coming along?
Really good, really good. Just like we said, I think it's supposed to be opening up in the fall, probably late fall of this year.
What about dorms?
Dorms are coming along, actually everything's coming along quite well, so we're really excited. The dorms, I think they just started, it was either the third, I think it's the third floor we just started.
There's a rumor going around about the bumper cars. Are they being refurbished this year?
Not that I'm aware of. Doesn't mean it is not.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so no work has been done on them right now to this point?
Not that I'm aware of. That would probably be more a Steve question, to be quite honest. More a Steve question.
About Rip Roaring Rapids, any word on it?
Nope.
There's word on the internet that it's been taken off the ride list.
Yeah, it probably went, it was taken off the ride list. So.
Okay. Those are just questions about what's
no announcements on that. No
okay.
announcements on that.
All right. Just thought I'd ask.
Yep, absolutely. I would expect nothing less.
Any idea when the train's going to be delivered here?
I think Steve said it was the end of January we get the first train.
Okay.
I think he mentioned that during one of the interviews.
I knew they said it was in port. I just didn't know it was going to be here.
Yeah, it should be here by the end of January.
Oh. This will be a fast lane plus?
Yes. It looked from the blind person, my eye, it looked to be very successful. However, it also looked there like it was very long lines for the rides.
Yep.
And me brainstorming, like, is that just how it's going to be? Because even the crowd I saw was not coaster crowd. So is that just because
I don't know if you're really going to see it, because we've kind of built the event as more a non-rides event and more an experience. I don't think you're going to see us turn on a ton more rides, and also we with our off-season maintenance and rehab schedule, we kind of have to keep some clothes, obviously, or they won't be ready in time for the next season. But I don't know. We tend to follow manufacturers' recommendations, particularly when it relates to weather conditions. So I don't know if we're going to turn on really much anymore. Obviously, the flyers would be on because that would be on. But
this will probably.
We're hopeful. Yeah, we're hopeful. But yeah, with Winterfest, I think a lot of the problem that we had this year, particularly when you talk about some of the crowds, was more the condensed schedule because we had so many rain days during Winterfest this year.
Yeah, just trying to get out at one time once that nice day came.
Yeah, when you have 4 days of rain, it kind of throws everyone to one day, and it's either visit or don't visit.
Well, the photo ops were fantastic as far as I saw, because we're in a social media generation. And everyone wants to take pictures, and it seems like the park got it.
Yeah.
There's so many different photo ops, and there were even lines for those.
Yeah.
So keep that up.
Yeah, I think you'll continue to see us build out the experiences in the park. I think you'll continue to see more midways activated, albeit there's not really many that we don't have activated at this point. But I think it'll be continuing to build out the experience side. We from day one never said that it was a ride event, and I think we're pretty committed to holding firm on what we think Winterfest should be.
Yeah. And the price point to me is good for no major rides event, because most of the parks that have all their rides operating, their price point is almost like a typical summer day.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Winterfest is a great deal, without a doubt.
Now the Blue Ridge Junction area, it's going to be mainly just, well, the Old Wings, Blue Ridge Country Kitchen now, the Flyers, and Copperhead Strike. Is that pretty much what it's going to consist of? Yeah, so it's 7 acres. And so when you're coming right in that Windseeker courtyard, there's the basketball game right there. That kind of like diagonally is kind of entrance point, if you will. And then the entrance point from the other side would obviously be from County Fair, crossing over to Blue Ridge Junction, and then coming back to the coaster area. So, and this area will connect back around by the bumper cars?
It will, yes. Yeah, actually, to the side of the mountain gliders, there's a connection point that will go right in, which I think is excellent. Because
okay, so it'll be on the Rita side? No, I mean
it'll be the
other side,
Fry Shack is.
I got you.
So it'll be connected right through
Fry
there.
Shack, that's what I was thinking
of.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's going to be great, because now that area is not going to be this dead end.
Where will the lockers over here be located?
I know. I honestly forget. It's somewhere right across from the entrance point. I just don't remember exactly where, to be honest.
Covered queue line?
I don't know about that either, to be quite honest. I haven't looked at the thematic sketches in a while. Definitely Steve questions. He can. Those would be things he would know. But yeah, so essentially you'll have the mountain gliders, you'll have the coaster, of course, ladder game, restaurant, the arcade building falls into that area. So I was telling him, I think Steve had mentioned there's a fireplace going in, really beautiful fireplace to the side of the ladder game. Kind of will be great for like placemaking and sitting down, relaxing. Particularly during colder nights, obviously. Not during the summer, but you can still look and stare at the fireplace.
Now you mentioned the arcade. Is that going to get a refurbished also, or just maybe a facelift? Or
yep, it'll get a facelift. Okay. Yeah, everything will look new in that area. And you probably saw in the area the Coke Refresh stand is gone. It was like a 50s style look. That's gone. The Mix It Up that's there, that'll get remodeled and expanded, so it'll be Coke Refresh and Mix It Up. Okay. And that'll fit into the thematic of the area as well. So overall, I think it'll be a really, really, really nice themed area.
And will we be able to purchase Granny's Jam?
I know our retail department has gone back and forth. I don't know if we will or not, though, to be honest. A lot of the things is right now is because we just don't know because we're in that really planning phase. Really, January, beginning of February is a lot of the planning for the upcoming season and what we get, what's the merchandise, how do we finalize the area, what's the landscaping plan. So that's why we have so many unknowns at this point. It's just we're in that
Boysenberry
phase.
jam is pretty good. You can just
What was that?
Boysenberry jam is pretty good. Just ship it on over and put a new label on it.
I do love me some boysenberry. I'll tell you that.
I haven't tried it yet.
You seriously?
I really have not tried
Never?
boysenberry. Nope.
Oh my lord! You at least need to have someone send you some.
I gotta have somebody send me some to do.
You know that train will be winter warmer from.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Vein of gold.
Yeah.
So, it ended up being pyrite. It wasn't real gold, but it had people excited for a little bit. Oh, we hit the because there is gold in this area. There's a vein of it that runs. You go back and talk to the old timers, look at some old maps and whatnot. The gold mine is up in where's the gold mine?
Reed.
Yes. There's a vein of gold that runs from that mine down through this area. And it runs on this property.
So y'all thought you found gold, huh?
Yeah, we thought we found gold. Mm-hmm.
What would you have done?
Some of the things we did hit is we have two different types of granite out here, and we hit the salt and pepper granite, which is really hard. So when it came time to drill through the rock, we hit more rock than we really thought we were going to hit, even though we tested and drilled beforehand. Some of that rock, it was just harder than we had run across any other place in the park. So that took a little bit of time. So dealing with the rock and the foundations and stuff like that was a little bit unexpected.
But it didn't slow you down because
it didn't slow us down, but we had time in the schedule for that. We had an extra 8 weeks built in the schedule because we anticipated some overruns, and we were right at the edge. And I tell you what, that rain we had.
It was awful.
Oh, we had mud out here that was 3 or 4 feet deep. So we had to be real careful, and it actually shut the site down. But the way you mitigate that is your contractors start working Saturdays and Sundays and working long days and nights when they can. So even when Winterfest was going on, the electricians were over here working at night with lights on while Winterfest was going on. They would work till about 7 o'clock. That's how you the thing about a coaster like this or any construction we do out here is our opening day doesn't change. Yeah. So if the weather's pretty, you got to keep your foot on the gas, unintended. You got to keep your foot on the gas. So you make up days. You can actually get ahead of schedule because something's going to throw you back. So as long as you keep your foot on the gas with the schedule and keep pushing your contractors and pushing your own folks to get it done, that way when things happen later on, you've got that buffer built in. Now, if you start in the hole, you've already got your foot on the gas. But the thing is, when the weather's nice like this, they'll be working all day today. Anytime the weather's good, let's get it done. It's like opening a school. When August 15th or whatever it is shows up, the kids are coming whether you're done or not. You need to get it done. So, that's the attitude that we work with around here.
Understandable. Now, what happened to that photo op with the snake with the car? I hope it's coming back.
We saved it.
Okay.
You like that?
They're actually.
Really like that?
A lot of people like that.
It was funny. You should actually wrap snakes like that around the poles.
One of your living room.
It really kind of blocks it. You would think it blocks it from that view right there, but maybe we wanted to do that.
We're gonna stick with that.
Yes. No, we put it there on purpose.
Oh, so you want?
No, we did. We wanted to block the entrance over there for the launch barn. Yeah. So it's more, you have to get on the ride to really see what's inside and experience that.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So this helps block that.
So there's going to be another fence right there, a permanent fence.
Nope. There'll be a fence, but it won't be a solid fence like that.
Okay.
But the ladder game's there on
the ladder
purpose.
game is the ladder game is the ladder game, and it themes right in.
Okay.
How about that?
Yes.
And it was put there on purpose, that size. Yes.
Okay.
The long range planning, that's what they wanted to do.
Hindsight is always 20/20. It always comes clear in the end.
And it actually worked out pretty good.
Because actually it worked out pretty good with the theming of the county fair
It did.
when it was put in.
And, well, County Fair and Blue Ridge
Right.
are different areas, but they're supposed to go from, it's supposed to be a natural transition from one to the other. Like this is the town, and this is the fairgrounds for the town. If you think of it like that, that was the broad view.
Okay.
Okay, so we did County Fair, and now we're working on the crossroads over here for the town. All right. So we took the games building out right there. We opened the walkway down into what used to be County Fair, which is now Crossroads, right? So now we've added another loop around over there by the bumper cars.
Okay.
So instead of that area just being a bubble, now you can go from here all the way up to Afterburn. You know, it really opens up the area to where people want to go. Opens up the footpaths a lot better. Trying to make the midways a little bit bigger. Good? You know, I could talk all day long, but I can't.
I said we can come back tomorrow. We're good.
I gotta go do.
Well, there you have it. The track's done. Electrical work's going in. The barns are up. I wish we could have got in the barns, but man, it was so muddy back there. I mean, there's a lot of work still to do. We know. Hey, great update, great construction tour. Thank you so much, Carowinds, for inviting us out. We love coming out and love this park. Thank you so much. We enjoyed it. Can't wait to do it again. Copperhead Strike, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Man, that's going to be an awesome coaster. First double launch coaster in the Carolinas. Can't wait to ride it. The gliders, I am so glad the gliders are coming back. I love the gliders. Of course, kids do too. And the new food at the Blue Ridge Country Kitchen, man, I am really looking forward to that. You know, roasted chicken, the sausages, just all new food that's going to be back in there. And I did find out that they have been testing, the rotisseries are already here and they've been testing them. I offered my services to help, you know, see how the food tastes. They said they had enough, so. But I'm sure I'll get my share of it when the park opens. Can't wait for that to happen. Again, thank you, Carowinds, for inviting us out. Really enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification, as I'm sure we'll probably have a few more of these construction updates to come, along with who knows what else. And give this video a like. See you next time.